me, per what I'm reading and what I'm seeing, in future, I see robots handling football. Yes, I see robots.
It's not surprising.
Yeah, I see robots.
I
see robots as linesmen. I see robots as center referees. So when there is goal, there will be something that will signal that this is goal. There will be something that will signal that this is offside. And what have you? You see, no matter what, referees are humans, and those in the VAR room are also human as well. That is what we should understand. And to every human, we are bound by air. To err is human. So personally, I think I will pardon Simon Markiniak. And after the game, he went to Thomas Tuchel, who is the head coach of Bayern Munich, said sorry to him because he erred through his linesman. It is done. It is over. And again, Real Madrid's second goal that Jose Lu scored, he raised eyebrow and concerns as to whether he was already in offside position or not. That also raised another concern. But I don't agree to the fact.
By
the VAR.
Yeah. So, and that is why I'm saying, those in the VAR room are human as well.
Right.
I quite remember this season in the Premier League, a game between Liverpool and Tottenham Hotspur. A goal was scored, which the VAR ruled it offside. So after the game, Liverpool competed and told the PGMOL that they should bring the audio.
Sorry, what is the PGMOL?
Those in charge of, that is the referees, the referee assessors and what have you. And again, those in charge of, after they look they look after that is officiating.
So more like post match.
They look after officiating. Were there mistakes? What were the strengths? What were the weakness? And what have you? This ball should have stood. It shouldn't have stood. So the PGMOL requested the audio from the referees in the VAR. They brought the audio and they realized the goal should have stood. And that had an impact on the Premier League. As I speak, there will be votes of confidence or not on the VAR. When we see the Premier League abolishing the VAR,
professional game match official.
They are in charge of it.
Probably you can repeat that.
Yeah, professional game match officials limited.
MOL. And now, if they abolish the VAR, guess what? A whole Premier League abolishing the VAR, then it will be, excuse my language, it will be useless or nonsense to the French league, the Bundesliga, to some extent the Spanish La Liga. Because VR is also erring. We brought you VR into the game or into the frame, all because human beings, no matter what, will err. That is why FIFA would always trust Pierluigi Collina. He's the only referee who had little error. But the current ones, from Howard Webb, Marcus Meck, Horacio Elizondo, there is this famous Brazilian, Matheus Jesus, all erred during their time as referees.
So the robots who can err.
And they also machines will also
be operating the machine. And that's why God is God. Yes, that's why God is God. There's nothing that can be compared to him. There's nothing human being will do. There's nothing that human being will do that will be perfectly perfect. No, it will not happen. So we should put it in our mind that yes, there might be errors, but it should be minute. It should be little. It shouldn't be things. Yes, it shouldn't be things that will change the whole thing. That makes it bad. You see? Yes. So we should admit the fact that there will be errors, of course, but it should be small. It shouldn't change the whole dynamics of the audio was like the audio between Tottenham Hotspur and Liverpool. The goal was scored by Luis Diaz. And in the VR room, the VR assistant referee said this goal should stand. And the referee who is in command of the VAR said no, this goal shouldn't stand. Okay, maybe let's take it as an offside. Why maybe? As referee, you know the rules. We go by the rules. So why maybe? So that may be impacted on the Premier League. Not only Liverpool against Tottenham Hotspur. It was I think Sheffield United against Nottingham Forest against Everton. A goal was scored which was disallowed. Also through the audio, the referee's head. So VR, there is nothing like confidence in them now in the Premier League.
I see. Now
there was a game between Liverpool and Manchester City. If Abuaje could remember, there there was a foot up challenge on the chest of McAllister Alexis. And it was a Ghanaian born Belgian, Jeremy Doku, who raised the feet to the chest of Alexis McAllister. That ball should have been a penalty. Through the VAR, they disallowed that ball. Wow. And Liverpool, if had Liverpool won that penalty and won that game, would have impacted the Premier League. And maybe City couldn't have won the Premier League. It would have been Arsenal or Liverpool.
Yeah.
But
so
because
it affected the next team.
Yes.
Or those
it affected the entire table because City had a draw with Liverpool that day, 1-1 at Anfield. And guess what? The Liverpool complained, and the retired referee, Howard Webb, Marcus Meck, and what have you, came in, that is in disagreement with the VAR that ball should have been a penalty. Guess what? The results have already been taken. It's 1-1.
Later, they resulted that it wasn't a penalty.
That particular incident. It was one person who brought about it wasn't a penalty.
Okay.
And they even raised that
Webb as the referee's chief. It's interesting.
Even during his time, he was touted as a Manchester United.
Oh, for sure.
Wow.
Because anytime he handles Manchester United,
that's football for us. That's football for us. Now let's talk about Saturday's. Clash. Bayern and Real Madrid. Okay. Dortmund. Yeah. How many times have they meet at the finals of the Champions League?
I think my brother will check it. And in the final, they've never met.
Yes.
They've never met in the final.
Wow.
And the last time Dortmund went to the final was in 1997. And they won. Yeah, the last time they won was in 97. And the last time they lost was in 2013. And they lost to another German opponent in Team Bayern. And that year they defeated Real Madrid. And Lewandowski scored 4.
Wow.
Pepe begged. What should be a year? Yes. Lewandowski scored a quadruple in 2013, and it was under Jurgen Klopp's tutelage. He led Dortmund to that final. So after I think Klaus Topmola, who led Bayern to Otmar Hitzfeld, won the Champions League for Dortmund in 97. After Otmar Hitzfeld, the next manager is Jurgen Klopp. But Jurgen failed by losing to team Bayern Munich under Jupp Heynckes, and Jupp Heynckes won that day. Iron Robben and Ribery still in the headlines as well. So for Dortmund, it's been 2 times.
2 times.
1 win in 97 and 1 lost in 2013. But for Real Madrid, what would you say? They are the pinnacle and they are the primus of the Champions League.
Yeah. Okay. So, Mr. Nkumse, now let me come to you, Mr. Boaji. Assuming you are the coach, or we've made you the coach of Dortmund, what strategy would you map up going against Real Madrid?
You see, football, one thing that is different in terms of everything to me when it comes to football is final. Final is one of game. Final is one of game. So it comes with everything in you, unless you are not ready to play. If you are ready to play and want the ultimate, you go all out. In this case, Dortmund, this time around, to me, or to anyone who follows the game, did not have a good season. They were 4th in the league, but I'm saying they did not have a good season in the league or domestically, but in Europe they have. See, if you take this Dortmund team and you measure it around the teams that have been in the past, let me say 4 or 5 years in the UEFA Champions League final, you say this is the weakest one. But mind you, this is the final and everything is at stake. Don't be surprised if Dortmund wins. Real Madrid, yes,
possible.
Of course, why not?
As a Madrid, so you don't believe
no. This is the final, and see, Real Madrid at this point, let me say, since 2014, the last 10 years, have won the Champions League, I think, for 4 times. I think 5. 14, 15 they won. And then they came 16, 17, 18, 19. And just last 2 seasons,
so they've been consistent.
Oh, of course, yes. So, anytime that Real Madrid will go to final, they are not favorites. the last 10 years, the previous that they've won. Okay. That's the 5 that they've won. Okay. Anytime that they'll go to, and mind you, it's interesting. You know what? It's only 2 managers who have done this with Real Madrid.
Okay.
Carlo Ancelotti, the current manager, and then Zinedine Zidane, who is let me say, part and parcel of the team, because as a coach and as a player, he won it as a player, and he has win it, or he has won it again as a manager. Now, Carlo won a 2014-15 season with Real Madrid against Atletico Madrid, and going into that particular game, Real were not the favorite for that game or for that night, and it took Real Madrid 90 plus 4 minutes to equalize and send the game to extra. After scoring Atletico Madrid, their city rivals, by 4 goals to 1 to clinch the UEFA Champions. That was the La Cima, the 10th Champions League for Real Madrid. Again, in 2016-17, it was against a certain Juventus. That season, Juventus were like creme de la creme. They were all conquered. They won everything thereof in their league. That was the Serie A. They won the Serie A. They won the Supercoppa Italia, and they won the Coppa Italia too. So they won treble under Mas Allegri. And coming into that particular final, at the back of Juventus, they were having Bonucci, they were having Chiellini and Bazzagli. 3 players at the back, the best center backs that you could get that time in Europe.
Even Mourinho respects that 3. Bazzagli, Chiellini, Bonucci. Bruh, don't go there.
They were fantastic. They were exceptional. What adjectives will you use for such?
Mourinho once said, go to the Harvard University and teach how to defend. And that was that trio. The BBC. Bonucci, Bazzagli, Chiellini. That is BBC. And they were super.
And you know what? It was interesting. They met another BBC in Real Madrid.
Okay.
The BBC of Juve met BBC of Real Madrid, and it was a hell for them. Just as Real Madrid.
So which were the BBC for Real Madrid at the time?
Oh, the BBC were Gareth Bale, the B, and then Karim Mustafa Benzema. Okay, and then Cristiano Ronaldo. So Benzema B, Bale B, and then Ronaldo C. So it was like that. And Real Madrid is a team that, to some extent, I would say they don't like challenge. Don't just tell them they can't.
Okay. When you bring it on,
yes,
they'll face
you. Don't dare them. When you push Real Madrid, they will react that you will never be happy. In 2016-17, that's what I said. They disciplined Juve. They made the final look so simple. It looks as if it wasn't a final. They scored Juventus by 4 goals to 1.
And the final?
Yes. They made the final look so simple. Yes. They scored Atletico by 4 goals to 1. That was the let me say the 2 previous seasons before the Juve one. Okay, fast forward. Against that year, they won it under the tutelage of Zidane. The following year, that was 17-18 season, they won it against Zidane. They won it against, I think, Liverpool.
Okay. Wow.
They won it against Liverpool.
They won twice against
Liverpool. And you see,
18.
And interestingly, Liverpool were the favorite to win, because Jurgen Klopp had won the Premier League with 99 points. You see that? And he was having Firmino, Mane, and Mo Salah. And in the middle, Jordan Henderson, super. Georgie Wijnaldum everywhere, versatile, everywhere you go. And Fabio was serving as the shield for the defenders. You see? But Liverpool were not lucky, because on the day they weren't having the best of goalkeepers in their post, which is one factor that caused Liverpool to lose that particular game. And on that day, yes, that was 18. And on that day, Madrid made Liverpool look like they've never played before. on that day. And it was like, yes, it was very, very embarrassing and for Liverpool, and no one will be happy being a Liverpool fan on that particular day. And Kwabena, being a Liverpool fan was
you can cry,
yeah.
So remember that.
But I took it easy because we played Real Madrid, and we are the only team that have beaten that has defeated Real Madrid in the final. 1981.
That's Liverpool.
Yes, the only team to have beaten Real Madrid in the finals of the Champions League was us. In 1981, it was played at Paris. It was Liverpool, Real Madrid, and the only player who scored that goal was my namesake, Philip. He scored Philip Thompson. Phil scored the only goal that defeated Real Madrid. So I'm cool because Real Madrid get into the final. That is the status quo of the Champions League. When Real Madrid gets to the final, hey, there is no going back, and there is no team that can stand them. Abuaji was rightly on point because when you play Juve in the final and beat them 4-1, it's a statement of intent. And before that game, it is very difficult to even put a ball at the back of the twine of Gigi Buffon. And Buffon was like, wow, how did Ronaldo score that goal? How did even Marco Asensio got that goal? And one of the goals that stole the headline was Casemiro's cruise, the strike, a thunderbolt of Casemiro. And that stole the headlines that day. And the same can be said of the game against Atletico Madrid. So as for Real Madrid and Liverpool meeting in the final, the most recent one is 2022, where we lost, where I'm a Liverpool, where we lost 1-0 to Real Madrid. From nowhere, an unlikely hero in Vini got the only goal. And Alisson Becker thought he has punched the ball away. From nowhere, Vini Jr. was right there and punched on the second ball, which resulted in the goal. And from there on, Courtois was like, wow, this is a man-made robot. On the day, he wasn't human. He was on a different planet because ball entering a net, all that, the commentator will say, this is Liverpool's day. Before you realize, Courtois is right there, right in the right moment and on point. On 3 occasions, Sadio Mane, Roberto Firmino, and Mo Salah, he cleared every ball throughout the 90 minutes, which Real Madrid won. So that was the year that Courtois was adjudged the best goalkeeper in the world. Until date, I don't regret the arguments. I still believe he's the best we have in the moment. But in terms of ball distributions and what have you, he's the poorest. He doesn't have that quality. In terms of quality with ball distribution, Manuel Neuer, Ederson Moraes of Man City, and Alisson Becker of Liverpool. These are the 3 best in the game. But in terms of saves and punches, there is none. Neuer doesn't come close to Courtois in terms of saves and punches. Neuer is a very good goalkeeper, but he's overly confident. But for Courtois, he's down and very calm. And you can't score Courtois on a carpet ball. Though, the height, you see, before a heighty goalkeeper will go to a ground, ball would have passed. But Courtois, don't go there. Don't dare him. To dare is to dare Courtois to score Courtois. Probably a mistake will get to the back of his twine. But he's one of the best in the business, and I wasn't surprised. He's the best in the business. I'm not surprised.
So
okay, you see, let me complete on the Dortmund aspect. You see, Dortmund to the general people might come into this game as underdogs. Of course, it is on the face of the analysis. They are, but this again, this is the UEFA Champions League final. Of course, it's only Real Madrid that can hurt themselves.
Not Dortmund. They be hurting Real Madrid.
Yes, in this game, it's only this is. I am making a statement. It is only Real Madrid in this particular tournament or competition that can hurt them. No team can hurt Real Madrid.
That confidence.
Of course, unless I take it from me, I'm telling you that Dortmund they are an underdog. Of course, they are. But this is a final. And again, I am telling you, people might be confused. But I'm telling you that when it comes to this, Madrid has been to this competition final for 18 times. This year will be 18. They've won 14, losing 3. So when it comes to this competition and its final, the only team that can head this team is them. Them themselves. You see that? So when they decide to play When everything comes to bear, when we talk about history, when we talk about tradition, when we talk about spirits in the game,
Records.
in the competition, it knows them more than anything. So if there is anything that can hurt Real Madrid, it's Real Madrid themselves.